Good morning, pregame crew. It is GDP Thursday, May 25th, 2023, 6:22 a.m. Mountain Time, 8:22 a.m. Eastern. Thank you for being here. Happy graduation to a lot of you out there. I graduated a couple years ago. Just a couple, that's all. Hey, Bob. How are you? Hey, Bennett. Hey, Wave. Good morning, Shake and Bake. Greg, Renaissance Man, Bennett, Night Truck, Keith, Topher, Lisa, RJ, Sodi, Wave Trader, Train Man, Dan, Card Lady, Gregory, Homebody, Casey, Zimmerman, RJ, E Cubed, Al G, Basque, Mary, Mike. Mary had a good day with Net and NVIDIA. You had a great day. Hey, Sandor. Yep, your little engines are for sure chugging, Mary. No doubt about it. Good morning. Do y'all have any chart requests? Let me go back up to the top. It's your second time to attend, Sodi. Well, welcome. And I'm sure, I am sure I'm butchering your name, but it's a very interesting name, S-O-D-I. How unique. And I'm glad you're here. Snow got wrecked on earnings. It's my understanding that Snow has some type of cybersecurity component. So I thought maybe that would lift Snow a little bit, but so far, no good. So far, Snow good. What was I looking at earlier? Okay, here. See, I tell y'all, I've looked at all the charts. All the charts. Of course, I can't look at all of them, but I look at hundreds in the morning. Right here, we have a gap fill at 147.59, and I was looking at that thinking on a bounce, that would be a great short candidate to target that potential gap fill. The only fly in the ointment or the only problem with that setup is that it does have a cybersecurity component, and will that give it any lift? So far, not yet. So it's pretty beat up, so bounces are for shorting. 15-minute overbought. First 15-minute overbought could be a short entry for a reverse back burner. Your resistance is 155, 156.80, 158.45. It may, what time frame, RJ? You're probably talking about this. It's not very well formed. I'll give you that. I see what you're talking about. This is what RJ is asking about. You do have that dip and then nice recovery. It's just really sloppy. Let's see if we can tighten it up and if it gets any clearer. Whoop. On the 2 hour, yeah. On the 2 hour, yes. Potential inverse head and shoulders. The question is, will this 50 MA right here where price is, will that act as the Great Wall of Louisiana? We shall see. NASDAQ is running with their hair on fire. When semis are fueling the move, it is tough to stop those bulls. Very tough to stop. What we saw with NVIDIA earnings yesterday was something I can't remember seeing in the history of my trading. With a large cap, high beta name with that type of crazy reaction. And they raised their guidance from 7 billion to 12 billion. Was it something like that? Let me see. Here, let's see. Oh, there was a little blurb. Here, NVIDIA said it expects revenue next quarter of 11 billion. Where initially the thought was it would be consensus of 7 billion in the next quarter, and that's all AI driven or primarily driven by the need for their chips for AI. That's incredible. That is absolutely incredible. And if you don't believe me that that's incredible, I got my calculator so I don't mess up this time. Let's see. So right now we have 7 million shares traded on NVIDIA this morning. Okay, that's 7 million times 397. That is $2.8 billion of NVIDIA traded this morning. Folks, we don't see this kind of dollar volume. NVIDIA will be a name for the ages today. It's going to have tremendous volatility. I'm not saying that it will continue to go up. There will be bear opportunities, but I think the bear opportunities are few and far between. And I'm for sure eating my words, thinking and questioning, is it priced to perfection? Because it was up 55% since the last earnings. And there will be consolidation. There absolutely will be. There will be some consolidation. But I think you're better off buying pullbacks than you are shorting pops. Anyone that's ever shorted NVIDIA is underwater, and underwater by a lot, not just a little, a lot. So the prior all-time high was 346.05, and we are $50 beyond that. There are some seriously trapped bears, and they are most likely wrecked this morning. And I lost my chat. Where did my chat go? There it is. Okay, we have GDP in 1 minute and 35 seconds. So let me get to ES real quick and give you those levels. So I'm going to get rid of the Great Wall of China. I want you to see this 50 MA right overhead where price is pausing. We got over resistance of 41.57 and 41.57.75. We got over that. Next is 41.77. Support 41.4550, 41.3550. Y'all, I want to show you this quickly before GDP comes out and jobless claims. Regardless of this NVIDIA insane run with NASDAQ pushing so hard, we are still coming out with a more bearish calculation than bullish. I heard a lot of people say, hey, we're not in a daily downtrend yet on SPY. Well, we're not on SPY, but we are on ES. ES lost the daily support of 41.20 right here. Let me tag that right there. We lost it. We hit 4114 yesterday. We lost the daily uptrend on ES. We have XLE that looks very weak this morning. XLF looks very weak, and XLV. If I had to paint a scenario, I would say XLF would be the more likely candidate to join the NASDAQ bulls and help pull this cart to the upside. So ES is not out of the woods. We're in an inside bar. We're inside yesterday's range. You're going to let trading go for a while. It's not working. I'm so sorry to hear that. Trading is very difficult. Anyone who makes it out to be easy is super wrong. And when I say it's not easy, but it is pretty straightforward. And I can probably guarantee you success. That sounds reassuring. Is you are not taking the right risk to reward. Your reward should be at least 2 to 1 with your risk. And if you look at prop firms, that's how they have it set up. For most of the auditions, you can only lose for a small account, say $1,000, and you must hit 2,000 before you can pass their audition. That's 2 to 1. That's the only way to make trading work, and you have to honor your stop losses. But I understand that it's frustrating, and I'm so sorry to hear that for you. Okay. NVIDIA will give us setups, and we can go over what those setups look like. We're not getting any response on GDP whatsoever. So GDP comes in at 1.3% and forecast was 1.1%. So we have slowed down from the prior number of 2.6%. We've cut that in half, but it's still more than what's expected. I would expect a more bearish reaction on GDP. Jobless claims, however, that's what's counterbalancing that, is jobless claims came in less. No, actually, that's good news is bad news environment. Not as many people are saying that they've lost their jobs, and the Fed intervention should be causing the job market to slow down. And it's not. We have pending, it's not. We have pending home sales at 10 a.m. Don't forget to set your little reminder for that. And of course, we have the debt ceiling that is looming over our heads. All right. I'm just reading your notes. Perfect, perfect. All right, let's get this show on the road. Good morning. Welcome to the pregame show. This is who I am. I'm Chart Gal Lori, and I'm part of the Chart Guys community, and we teach technical analysis. So you can check us out at chartguys.com. And most importantly, let me bring this chat over here. Right here is a link. I'm going to pin it to chat. We have a free webinar tonight that will be taught by Chart Guy Joey Jungle Funk. It will be a free webinar, completely free. He has spent hours upon hours preparing for this, identifying the most likely scenarios. And his last one was a huge hit using multiple time frames for analysis and trading. And I can tell you that this one is going to be stellar as well. So even if you can't make it at 5 p.m. Eastern live, that's okay. You can click on this link and watch it after the fact. No big deal. So you can give me a follow on Twitter if you'd like, at ChartGalLori. And what I do here every morning is we look at indices, commodities, crypto movers and shakers of the day. I show you this handy dandy table and what I'm looking for in the market. And as I said, I am still getting a more bearish reading because NASDAQ and QQQ are not weighted as heavily on this chart as everything else. It's weighted pretty heavily. If you see that, 8.5, 8.5, Microsoft, 8.5. By the way, Microsoft and Apple make up 25% of the QQQ. So knowing our weightings are super important. And of course, technology is the largest holding in ES. And technology looks fine, but we do have some alarming trends in Bitcoin, in bonds. We have a potential 8-hour bear flag on ES. Right here, let me show you. And get rid of all that. This is a potential bear flag. Let me draw the rotated rectangle here. So caution on bull breaks that don't get a lot of follow through. That's what just happened on the hourly chart. We got a higher high without a lot of follow through. It just happened. So 8 hour bear flag, by the way, and where I'm from, we say our and not hour. So I'm constantly having to catch the way that I speak. So hourly, that's how we say it. So no, that's why I struggle with the word hourly, and I have to slow down and say it so y'all don't hear my country come out. So we just got a higher high without a lot of follow through, running into the 50 MA with the 8-hour bear flag on the higher time frame with the 8 EMA directly overhead. This is a more bearish setup than bullish. I don't think we can fully roll over, however, without NASDAQ taking a breather. NASDAQ has been running like their hair's on fire. They're coming up on 8-hour resistance. This is the high from Monday of 1397925. So this could be a diamond bearish reversal pattern forming. I'm not going to be quick to call that though, because of how strong the semis are. When semis are fueling the market, it's hard to bet against it. I want to make you aware of a potential pattern though. Let me use this could be a megaphone developing. If we were to get a higher high over 13979, run into 14,000 psychological, that could be an area to short. Let me set an alert for that, for a potential megaphone. All right. For me, all eyes are on XLF. For me, that's what I'm going to be watching today. And by the way, I haven't changed my tickers up here, so that they're not giving you any clues as to what I'm watching, because I haven't changed them yet. But I am watching JPM pretty closely as my Queen of the Mountain trade, my top watch for a potential bottom fish for a daily high or low, and we'll go over that. RTY is weak. Completely weak. We're on the verge of losing the daily 50 MA. And what bulls would love to see is for this to be a megaphone. And can IWM and XLF, can they come save the day? That'll be the question. Very interesting, very interesting. 4-hour inside bar. Look at this neat hourly EQ, very neat. Dow, same thing, nice tight range. EMAs have been resistant since Jesus was a baby, since May 19th. So what day was that? Last Friday. So all week. So we've had about 4 days of the EMA's overhead on the Dow. The Dow bounces have been for shorting, and stay with that trend until it changes character. Dollar is extended. We are up 0.25%. And I should mention now that I will not be here tomorrow morning. I'm not sure. I think it's charting. Yep, charting man Dan is going to be doing the pregame show tomorrow. Y'all are going to be in for a treat because he is the GOAT. He's the one who taught me how to trade. I had a few mentors, but 90% of what I've learned about trading is from Dan. And it's pretty interesting because we trade somewhat differently as far as the indicators that we trade, the instruments that we trade. He's primarily a commons trader, and I'm primarily a futures or options trader, yet he's the one that taught me almost everything I know about trading. So this will be a special show tomorrow. You do not want to miss it. And I will be out next Tuesday, Wednesday. I'm going to go with my mom to MD Anderson. Thank y'all for understanding. And Monday is a holiday. Don't forget. So charting man Jason will be here. Chart guy Jason will be here Tuesday and Wednesday for pregame show. So the show must go on, and I'll be back next Thursday with y'all. So that's right, Mary. That is right. And I strongly suggest that whoever's out there struggling with trading, which every single one of us, oh, there's a big pop. That's a big pop. Every single one of us has different parts of this game that we're struggling with. And if someone says they got it all figured out, they're a liar and run. The book, The Mental Game of Trading by Jared Tendler, just a great book. And also he does these live streams where you can ask him a question, Jared Tendler. And he did one, this is the book that's so amazing. And he did Office Hours, episode 24 yesterday, The Varieties of Tilt. So he first wrote a book on poker, the mental game of poker. And then he used a lot of the same principles, but not all the same, for traders. And he works with traders and he coaches them on the mental side of the game, which is much harder than technical analysis. I hear people tell me at least 2-3 times a week, I have mastered technical analysis. Okay, well, that doesn't mean you're a good trader. That does not mean you're a good trader at all. Let me tell you, technical analysis is the easiest part of this gig. Super easy. It's straightforward. That's a better word, straightforward. Technical analysis is straightforward. It is the mental game that's hard. When you see a name coming against you, the emotions that you feel and how that drives you to act, either to jump out of a high conviction trade or jump in, that is the hard part of the game. So working on that mental muscle is super important. I also wrote a note here. Let me copy this. And if you're new here, I do go over charts, but I like to do a little bit of psychology and trading advice as I go. My son was here this past weekend. I shared that with some of you. Well, let's put it where we can see it. And he brought 3 of his friends. They travel in groups, in packs, I swear. And they wanted to play poker with my husband and me. So we played poker, and I was just observing them. I've known these kids since, most of them, elementary school. They're my son's best friends. And you can just see how their personalities, one of them is wild and just fun and just going to go. And he played every single hand. And we had 2 sets of poker chips, and he had to keep digging into the poker chips because he kept losing. And then the more conservative guy, the one that was flossing, that's hard for 21-year-olds to do, and getting up early and reading a self-help book and journaling about it, he would not play every hand. He would play 10% of the hands, and he was doing so well. So be aware that professional poker players only play 10% of the hands that they are dealt. They're observing the other 90% of the time, and that's what you should be doing in trading. You don't take every setup you see. You don't. You wait for those high conviction setups. Let me show you a high conviction setup for me that I will hit this every time I see it. And if you're part of TCG, you saw that I posted this yesterday. I want you to look at this rising wedge. We were coming into yesterday's high was pretty unattainable for these growth bulls, for Roku bulls. We were looking for a lower high on Roku relative to the prior day. And when you give me a bearish pattern into an area where I'm scouting a lower high, you better bet I'm going to take it. And right here, we crossed overbought for a second. We didn't close here or here, but it did cross overbought. I'm going to take that. That's the 10% of setups that you should be taking. That's it. Those are the ones. Let me show you one more from yesterday that Dan posted. And I took this one as well. Riot. Potential 5-minute head and shoulders. And we were looking for a lower high compared to pre-market high. 1127 was the next resistance. So I'm going to take that lower high attempt every single time I take it. That falls in that 10% of high quality setups. And that's what you should be looking for. Trading in the Zone is definitely one of the best books out there for trading psychology. I think Mental Game of Trading unpacks it in a different way, and it was interesting for me. I've read Trading in the Zone about, I'm not kidding, about 25 times at least. Okay, so we did RTY is in an EQ. Are we breaking bull? Yep, we are breaking bull with the market. Bull break, YM. We got to get through 32862. And what's XLF doing? Let's see if it's doing what I think it's doing. Yes, XLF has changed the 5-minute trend. XLF, we've lost this daily support of 3184. However, I'm calling this a double bottom. A nickel does not a bear break make. So for me, we need to see XLF hold the low of yesterday and bounce for that potential daily double bottom hold. And that makes JPM the queen of the mountain trade for me. We're looking for a daily high or low. Your next support is down at 13396. And I already have a position in this. I did a no FOMO position here at 134.75 looking for, and I'm willing to add all the way down to 134. I will add one more position closer to 134 if I'm wrong. Looking for the daily high or low. With hourly, got overbought, and I want you to look at this bullish divergence. Do you see that? RSI is making higher lows, while price is making lower lows. I love those longs. That is what I'm looking for. It doesn't mean it will work, and you're probably saying, why are you going for a long in the weakest sector? I'm looking for XLF to hold that daily double bottom and go from laggard to bull. We'll see. We'll see how it plays out. Oh, thank you, Lisa. I appreciate that. You're new? Well, thank you for being here, Plasma Lab. If you could hit that like button, that would help me the most. If you get anything out of this, please hit that like button so we can get a few more viewers. Of course, our goal is to get you to check out our community with Chart Guys. But either way, I'm going to help you for free here every morning. I'm going to help because that's what we do. And it's my passion. All right, Lori, get back to charts. So Bitcoin had a little bit of an ugly inverse head and shoulders as well. As a matter of fact, I'm not even going to draw that. That's so ugly. But we have a trend change now. The 4-hour could be a bear flag, so caution. Resistance 26478. We double top there with 26471. Bitcoin is still weak. Ethereum, we got over resistance of 1808. We hit 1810. I'd still call that a double bottom. Most importantly, bulls have made enough room for a 4-hour higher low. Did I change my settings? It doesn't seem like a lot of pivots are showing up. Let me reduce that to 2 and see if I can get some more. Did that hold? Yep, because I didn't hit okay. Okay, now I'm getting a few more readings here. So 1760.7 is your key support and 25,878 is your key support. And I would say that bulls have made enough room for a 4-hour higher low on Bitcoin as well. We just got 15-minute overbought, and I do believe that is still a sign for a potential short play on Bitcoin when we get 15-minute overbought for reverse back burner, and I would try that until it stops working. So we are in downtrends on lots of time frames. Okay, gold. That's awesome, Kat. Good news. Yep, there is that free Trading in the Zone seminar, and you can listen to it on 2-speed. That's what I do when I listen to it. And his laugh sounds really funny on a double speed. May he rest in peace. Okay, gold. We're looking for gold had a big pullback. We're looking for a lower high on a bounce. Dollar is charging. Yep, dollar is up here. We broke resistance by 2 pennies. I'm looking for a pause on the dollar and a potential long in gold, but that setup may be busted now. I'm looking for that monthly high or low on gold, and we may not get it till we get closer to 1914, the 8 EMA. Well, shoot. That was one of my good setups for today, was a gold long, and that got busted with this bull move on the market and the dollar. All right, silver. Wait, let me give you resistance on gold. 1963.8. All right, silver. Weak as well. I normally don't go over that, so I'm not going to start now. Oil's finally getting a bounce. Bears will still be waiting up here against 74.37, looking for a hourly lower high. Let me look at TradingView. I have not answered any questions over there. Okay, we don't have any, so we're good. All right, so on oil, we're looking for a lower high compared to 74.37. I shorted oil yesterday. That was a high conviction setup for me as well. We have the 50 MA overhead. Yes, we have a daily higher high, but that daily 50 MA overhead, and commodities really typically respond strongly to those synthetic levels of 50 and 200 simple moving average. So we popped on inventory yesterday right here, and I took a short. I posted my entry and my 3 exits of the 3 contracts, and then we got a diamond bearish reversal pattern, and then I shorted it again. So I'm still looking for another short on a bounce on oil, and that may be best taken on 15-minute overbought if we get there. So let me set that alert. Denzi will be live in 10 minutes in the chat room, so I will go a little faster. Nat Gas has inventory today at 10:30 a.m. Eastern. We have enough room for a 15-minute higher low on a pullback. I still don't like this chart. We can call it a daily quad bottom. It broke by a penny, but we definitely have a daily quad bottom, but this is a mess. And bears are waiting to short a potential daily lower high up here. I don't like a trade setup in Nat Gas, primarily because of inventory. I may look for a short if it pops hard on inventory, like I did oil yesterday. Apple, y'all, how crazy was that? We talked about Apple and how it could get back up and over 170.42 by the time the market opened. That little shyster. When I was talking with y'all, it was 170.10, I believe, yesterday when we were going over it in pregame, and it got up and over 170.42 during regular trading hours, i.e. daily support held. Now that's the go forward level, and bears will be looking for a lower high compared to 176.39, looking for a potential head and shoulders pattern, because now we got a perfectly held neckline. So let's see. I'm going to set my alert for overbought on this one. Reverse back burner on this hourly chart, looking for a top fish. I know, finally. Yeah, I love e.l.f. Love, love, love e.l.f. makeup. And the chart has been beautiful. It recently broke an uptrend. It broke this daily uptrend, but man, that's still a pretty chart. I don't care who you are. They have not lost the weekly 8 EMA, and we're up at new all-time highs. You know what to do. Back burner. I'm going to go set it right now. All right, let's go look at Amazon. And I said I'd go faster, and all I'm doing is going down rabbit holes. Amazon is red this morning. It started out relatively strong and then really gave it all back yesterday. Daily is still a potential bull flag. The most aggressive bears would look to top fish 118.60 because Amazon is not, well, I guess I know they have aspects of AI, but they're not part of the AI movement. So Amazon may be a bear laggard today. You may look for a top fish against 118.60. And if you didn't watch Dan's market recap video yesterday, I strongly suggest you watch it because he is a hype sector expert. And he went over how we're just getting started with AI and it's nowhere near a bubble. So that keeps all AI names in focus. What do we say here? My goodness, bulls. So this is what you're looking for. Let me do my little thingy. You would go to a lower time frame chart, and then I think that you could look for a stair step. If you want a long in NVIDIA and you want to play some of this volatility, I would only play this volatility if you're a ninja. So, and if you don't know what stair step is, Google YouTube chart guys stair step. Dan goes over what the stair step pattern is. So this is what the stair step pattern is you pick your time frame, 1, 2 minute, 5 minute, and you look for candles that are in a sequence of, in this case, making lower lows. And then the first candle that breaks that sequence here, and you break the high of the prior candle. I like to call it breaking the high of the low bar. That keys you in, you trigger in, and you put your stop below that candle. So entry, exit. This is your stop loss. And then you can partially scale out if it pops. To me, this should be your best setup for NVIDIA to get a piece of the action. Okay, y'all got that? Here's your next setup on NVIDIA. Okay, not that. See if I can do this path thing. Is waiting for an EQ. And that equilibrium can be on a 2 minute, a 5 minute, a 15 minute, and then I would position myself bullishly within this. So you enter on a bull break of the EQ, that's your entry signal, and your exit below the last high or low. So if you want to screenshot that, that's going to be 2 examples of what you can do with NVIDIA. And you notice not giving you any top fishing ideas. The most aggressive bear will be looking to top fish 400 psychological. That's going to be the most aggressive bear. And I don't know that that'd be my play for today, but we'll see. So I gave you 2 bull ideas, and the only bear idea is 400 psychological. And if you break, let's say $400.50, you get the frick out because you're about to get ran over. Stops 1% of low there, or 1.1-ish. I don't go by percentages. I want to put it at the last higher low or the last low of it. So if I'm doing this here, let's say, if I'm entering here and this is my stop, and let's say this is 2%. This is 2%. That's a lot. That's a lot of risk. So when I'm buying breaks and I have more than 2% by my stop loss below me, I'm going to then scale down because I can't afford to lose. I don't want to lose more on my normal position size. If it's 1% or less, I will take my normal position size. And when it's double tops, and triple bottoms, I can double up on my size because if I get stopped out, it's just a scratch. Does that make sense? Okay, I spent a lot of time on NVIDIA, but I think that's important and that's applicable for any earnings beat. That strategy. Okay, Tesla, it's having a bullish morning. Your resistance is 187.94. I don't have a good setup on this. I would like a top fish of 192.96, looking for a daily lower high. I think that's the only clear example, is to wait for a bounce to short on Tesla. AI, so let me give you my Queen of the Mountain trades, and I'm just going to copy them. since I'm running out of time. So TCG members, I'll copy my notes over to you when the show is wrapped up. But here are my watches. An IONQ. I posted this yesterday morning at 8:38 that it was hourly oversold. Aggressive bulls are looking for it, and it stopped me out, and then it ran like HE double toothpicks, little sucker. IONQ, let's see, that was at 8:38. I posted that. Here. I bottom fished 926, put my stop at 925, got stopped out, and then the bounce was a little jerk, 13%. And I laugh because you know what? I catch those all the time and they do work. So the ones that don't work, Sarah, who cares? So this is a quantum computing name and it's part of the AI hype. So watch this name for back burners. So where did I just write that? I wrote that on Tesla. Okay. No. Oh, here it is. Okay, so AI, IONQ, and Microsoft are back burner watch. ARC is reverse back burner watch, looking for a daily lower high. JPM is a potential gap down for buying, daily high or low on watch, and I showed you that RSI bull divergence. So those are my Queen of the Mountain trades, and I'm just going to go over here right now and put JPM here. And I'm going to put IONQ here. And those are all the names I want to watch today. Okay, so AI, IONQ, Microsoft Backburner Watch, ARC. No, I'm going to put ARC. I don't want to watch Google. ARC looking for a top fish. Did I set my alert at 5 minute? Nope, I set it at 15 minute. Yep, there's my alert for 15 minute overbought. All right, hit the like button. Tell a friend about the pregame show. Check out the webinar this evening at 5 p.m. Eastern, excuse me. And if you can't make it live, that's okay. This link will still work and you can watch it later. Give me a follow on Twitter, hit the like button, and use stop losses.